Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Right. Okay. We'll start the session. So, can anyone say what we discussed last week? Can you remember?
Implementing the SPP.
Yes, in Sri Lanka, how it's evaluation of green procurement system in Sri Lanka, green or sustainable. Still, as I said, our guideline or our policies doesn't focus the sustainable, but anyway, green is there. But you can do the sustainable procurement practices as well, not only the green procurement. How it's implemented, the policies and the provisions available in the guideline, the previous guideline at the moment, they are developing a sustainable procurement policy, a guideline, but still anyone can voluntarily use sustainable practices. As I said, no regulation, no need regulation to do that. There are some standards, green standards, and some rating system, green rating system, especially in case of material, like SIDA, they introduce, and also some organizations are available. They are also issuing the green certification system, but it's still not popular. But in case of implementation, when compared to other countries, developed countries, we are far behind relating to the sustainable procurement practices. But anyway, up to certain level, some organization they do. Even in future, what is necessary when you do the procurement activities, if you can include or incorporate sustainable procurement practices with your production process, with your procurement process. So this is very important. So this is what we discussed. Today I'm talking about another one of the very important part of the sustainable procurement procedure practices. It's a provision available in the SDG 12 as well. If you do the procurement, especially you should have some idea about the whole life costing approach for sustainable public procurement. This is what I want to share with you. I will share slide. It's already sent, shared. I think you will get it. My topic is life cycle cost and whole life cost. It's one of the key part of the sustainable public procurement. When we take the decision, rather than focusing initial cost of investment, then you want to take the decision based on the sometime life cycle cost and the whole life cycle cost. So therefore, life cycle cost is different from the whole life cost. Later, I will tell you how do you distinguish life cycle cost from whole life cost up to that. So then let's see. Can you see the slides? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
For me.
Okay. So life cycle cost. Life cycle cost is a technique. It's a technique used to estimate the total cost of investment. When you look at any investment, any project, any procurement decision, if we take the decision based on the initial cost of investment, sometimes it's not the right decision today. You can purchase something at low price or you can purchase something when compared to the market low rate. But there are running cost, maintenance cost, cost of spare parts, cost of training, cost of disposal part. If we do not consider in long run, in long term, sometime, even though initial cost is cheaper, but long term base, it's loss. Therefore, when we take the decision, what is necessary, especially procurement decision, investment decision, very important to think about total cost of ownership, total cost of investment, or total cost of ownership. The popular word is total cost of ownership, TCO. Therefore, there should be a method to assess the future cost at the moment. Future cost, we will have a future cost. Today we have a cost of investment, but after that, during the operational process, and also sometime during the disposal stage, we will spend huge money for that. Therefore, considering future cost also for the present decision-making purpose, then it will become a life cycle cost, total cost of ownership. Why this is very important? Number one is long-term financial planning. Long-term financial planning. Long-term financial planning means once you purchase something, if you do not care about the future cost, for example, I can share some example. When we call for bids for some laboratory equipment in a hospital, in a health sector, laboratory equipment like say analyzers, some people you never believe, they quote at very low rate. Sometime when we check their CUSDEC, custom document, they have imported sometimes say at 50,000 USDs at CIF price. But they sell it at 10,000 USDs. Why people are selling at low price? At least they do not cover even initial cost. There should be something inside of the procurement process. Why? They know exactly that organization doesn't have a knowledge about the total cost of ownership. They always ask the price, they call for quotation for initial machine. Then they take the decision, they evaluate the bid based on the price given by them for the initial cost. Even if they sell at low price, but they are having a potential guaranteed business for some other areas of this procurement. If you get this machine at low price, if you sell this product at low price, if the supplier or bidder supply this quote at low price, so when we compare all bids, their prices are low, yes. But especially in health sector, when we purchase this kind of machine, we will want to pay what do you call that, reagent, annual reagent. When compared to other suppliers, their reagent is very high. The peripheral item that they want to use for this machine is very high. And also maintenance cost is very high. But Since you purchase this machine from particular AB supplier, definitely you want to purchase the other requirements also from the same supplier for the same product. Therefore, supplier will get the committed, what do you call that? Committed or guaranteed business for the other items of the particular machine. Therefore, what is necessary when we call for bids today? You want to develop your bidding document saying this bid will be evaluated based on the whole life cost base. If you include that, the bidders, they know definitely they will consider the price based on the life cycle cost. Then we want to develop our evaluation criteria saying that evaluation will be done based on the life cycle cost base or total cost of ownership base. At the same time, what is necessary when you develop a bidding document, you want to prepare price schedule for each component. I'm talking about the practical aspect. Even though you said in your evaluation criteria, you do the evaluation based on the total cost of ownership. If the supporting documents are not available, support to get the total cost of ownership, then you cannot do that. So then you should not ask the price as a bulk. Then there should be a cost breakdown. Then what is necessary? You want to prepare different price schedules. Price schedule of the initial cost of machine, price schedule for installation cost, price schedule for maintenance cost, different price schedule for training component, different price schedule for disposal component. Then you will understand each cost component. Then each cost we will spend in different stages of the usage. Sometimes some major component of the machine you want to replace after 3 years. Then sometime there are some expenditure, regular base you want to use the other inputs, peripheral items. Some cost you want to pay at the end of the year, or lifetime, end of the lifetime. For example, disposal cost. You want to spend at the end of the lifetime. Sometimes disposal, not the disposal income, it will become a disposal cost. I told you, in case of evaluation of solar system, energy system, at the end of the project period, available glass panel and other things is a burden to the organization. What to do for this glass panel? Then once again, we want to go for roof renovation because of this. Therefore, it's cost. Sometimes this kind of cost will occur at the end of the project period. Therefore, we want to think future cost for present decision making. Therefore, long-term financial planning is very important. So we should not take the decision based on the initial cost. And also very important, sustainable. Sustainable is a long-term return. Sustainability means long-term phenomena. Not only the current situation, but also we want to think about the future cost elements as well, not only the present. Therefore, sustainable procurement decision is very important. To get the sustainable procurement decision, very important, you should have some knowledge about how to calculate the life cycle cost. Life cycle cost. Then improved asset management. Asset, most probably life cycle cost with asset. It can be a machinery. It can be a plant. Then we can improve asset management. Asset management. Sometime in long term, purchasing is this machine, maybe, it can be, outsourcing this machine is more beneficial. Sometimes acquisition of this asset, sometimes it's not the cost effective. Therefore, do we procure, do we purchase this asset? Do we outsource this asset? Do we rent out this machine? Do we go for leasing? Then that kind of practices can be applied if you are aware about, especially relating to the sustainable practices. For example, construction industry, manufacturing, procurement, yes, we can apply these practices. Then what do you mean by life cycle costing? Life cycle cost and the whole life cost is different. But most of people, they think those are similar terminologies. No. Life cycle cost means when you procure something, when you purchase something, when you construct something, what are the directly related costs because of this investment? For example, as I said, when you purchase a, say, whatever the machine, power plant, or as generator, or as digital printing machine, we want to think about, in case of, say, power generator or power plant, then we do not compare the price, only the price of the particular machine. Then energy is another cost. Then we want to think about the energy cost. When you purchase the digital printer, not only the cost of printer, so then you want to replace some key component of the machine. Say after printing of 100,000, sometime when you use the other inputs to use the machine, maybe in cartridges or toners or other items, their prices are too high, but price of the machine is less. Then very important, running cost. Running cost is very important. It can be a fuel cost. It can be a other energy cost like electricity. It can be a other inputs like toners in cartridges, mass rolls, like that. It can be a maintenance cost, not only the running cost, maintenance cost. Annual maintenance agreement is very high. Annual maintenance agreement is very high, but price is low. Then it's a throughout the production process. Therefore, life cycle costing is a methodology for the systematic economic evaluation of the life cycle cost over the period of analysis. That is very important. Therefore, what is necessary? The assessing life cycle cost is not simply. Then sometime you will purchase, you will call for bid based on them. But sometime after supply 2-3 years, bidders will say, I cannot supply at this cost at the peripheral item. So therefore, you evaluated bid based on the initially given price for the other future cost. But after selling the product, if they say now price increase, so therefore we cannot supply. So then most probably government organization will face to this kind of issues, because we do the evaluation based on the information given by the bidder with the bid. But real situation means after purchase, after 1 year, 2 year, after free maintenance period is over, if they change the price, then we will face to some issues. This is happening. Therefore, what is necessary? When we purchase a machine, very important, strong agreement is very important. So at least if we can go for maintenance agreement, or especially in case of large scale machineries plant like that, when we call for bids, we are asking a price. That price we know as never exceeding price. For example, this practice is applied by Sri Lankan Air Force. I don't know whether people are participant from Air Force is available, especially in case of helicopters like that for the Air Force. So when they use the helicopters, after particular number of, whatever the kilometers or whatever the distance, cumulative number of kilometers. So then we want to ask, so after how many, after, how to say that? So not only the duration after 5 years, 3 years like that, just like kilometers or like that. So we want to ask, when we do the overhaul of the helicopter engine, what will be the price? We ask today. Today we ask cost of overhaul for the helicopter engine today. But it will occur, it will happen in future after particular number of kilometers use. Then they want to say, we want to say, tell me you are never exceeding price. Never exceeding price. So never exceeding price means they cannot go beyond that. Therefore, it should be included in our contract, saying that never exceeding price is this. Likewise, we want to get some guarantee for the future cost, because otherwise they will not provide that service. So therefore, there are some disadvantages available practically. Even though some practical issues are available, you should not evaluate the bid in case of some products. You cannot apply life cycle costing for everything, but especially machineries, plant, vehicles, printing machine, biomedical item, right? Generators, AC plant, we can add. What is necessary? Even though you ask the price today, they will say to get the bid, to win the bid, they quote low rate for even future cost also. After getting them after installation is over. If they say now we are not in a position to supply the price quoted with the original bidder, what to do? Therefore, can you suggest few solution for that? Suggestion for that. Think, take 2 minutes, 3 minutes, think to avoid from that kind of thing, what is necessary. Can you understand what I said?
Sir, at the initial stage, we can go for an agreement with them for future costing.
Yes. Now, one is maintenance agreement. In the maintenance agreement, clearly we want to say this price is fixed. And sometime, whatever the price given by the bidder will become a fix. And also price increment will be 10% for the previous price. So then no problem, 5 years. So then they want to get the base, they want to think about the base price as the current price. Then next year price will become a current price plus 10%. Then when they come to the next year, that price plus 10%. Therefore, very important, maintenance agreement with price increment. That is one solution.
Sir, excuse that maintenance agreement, it should be do with the initial agreement, no, after the warranty period?
That is up to. Most probably we do as a separate agreement. Put in reference to the original machineries and equipment.
Oh. Another one clarification, sir, that maintenance agreement, most of the medical equipment, they are willing to put US dollars.
Sorry?
The consumable reagent item,
Yeah.
they are putting dollars.
Yes. We faced this situation during the COVID situation also. What happened during that season period? So, you know, we had a big problem, the exchange rate fluctuation. Exchange rate fluctuation. So, because of the economic crisis of the country, so we faced that. So, initially when we signed the contract, what happened? They said our price is like this. But at the end, after 2-3 years, their price is higher. Then when you sign that is because of the exchange rate fluctuation. Then if you go for what you call that maintenance agreement in dollar terms, it will not the problem. So base currency is a dollar or yen. Is it clear?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yes. Or else, if you do that kind of things, if you ask to submit their prices in LKR, then very important in your document, you can say, at that time, what we do, we divided by the exchange rate at the point of the bid quoting, then multiply by today rate. So Treasury give approval and Ministry of Health, I know, we got that adjustment at that time with the approval of them. Then we make a payment at current exchange rate, but same dollar, but exchange rate will become different. Correct. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Right. Any other solution? Any other solution? Number one is especially go for maintenance agreement. Then other one is especially in case of long-term contract, if the contractor did not do the disposal part, so there should be some retained money with us. When we make a payment, say in case of electricity, in case of PPP projects, electricity, so say 1 rupees per unit, we will deduct and put in that amount in the escrow account. What do you mean by escrow account? ESCRO, escrow account. Escrow account means the particular contractor can withdraw that money from their bank account if the particular organization give a consent. Until particular organization, that means procurement entity, give an approval to release the money to the contractor, bank cannot release. Bank will not release the money. That means if the contractor want to get the money, it belongs to him. But particular margin throughout the period, we deposit into. So then when we say make a payment, say 100, 2 rupees we deduct and credit to the escrow account. Directly we do not payment that entire amount to the contract. But the 2% also belongs to him. But we will release that money at the end of the year. That money is available in the bank account. Right? Even interest also he can get, no problem, because this is his money. Even interest also. In case of large scale project, we do that. For that, we want to go for escrow agreement. You know, some escrow agreements are available in case of source code. In case of large scale IT solution, escrow account. Some companies are available. I think this is not popular in Sri Lanka. Escrow companies. It's just like source code in case of some software development. Source code is available in the particular place. It's just like keeping our jewelries in a bank for safeguarding purposes. Then one party cannot see the source code without approval of the other party. Is it clear? If the particular person did not do that commitment, so definitely that particular contract also cannot get the money. So therefore, that is not the solution. Anyone else? Can you suggest anything? This kind of issues practically will arise. Then securities. So likewise, some practical issues will arise when we go for life cycle costing. To get the bid, they will quote very low rate. After a few years, they will say, no, I cannot. Then never exceeding price is one of the solution. Then maintenance contract is another important. Then escrow account is another solution in case of large scale project, especially energy project. Right. life cycle costing. Then whole life costing means it's something different from the life cycle costing. Whole life costing is a methodology for the systematic economic consideration of all the whole life cost and benefits over the period of analyze as defined in the agreed scope. For example, I will give a good example, then you will realize the meaning of the whole life cost. There was a water sector project. There was a water sector project in Ua province, right? It was a huge project. Before we start the project, we want to do the cost-benefit analysis, at least getting the 20 years or 25 years period. Then what is the return of this project? So practically, when we see the water sector project, most probably return is return on investment is negative. Return on investment is negative. It's not just like other products, right? But we cannot start this kind of project based on the clear cost-benefit analysis. Why? Why? You can start the mini hydropower project, okay, based on the cost-benefit analysis. You can start any industry based on the cost-benefit analysis. It can be an airport or something, some other alternative airport, whatever the things, cost-benefit analysis. But in case of water sector project, why cost-benefit analysis is not suitable for that? If return, only the return. So we start this project, then we can purify the water, then we can distribute this water among the families of that particular province. Then we will charge for water. Then monthly bills are there. Then that is the return of the investment. There is a lot of cost throughout the 20 years period or 25 years. Then when we see after discounting, most probably what will happen? Negative. Water volume project positive karanna. But when you look at the water sector, right? So there are some, water is, basic requirement of the people. Basic requirement of the people. Now some people says, water supply, so just example, water supply and drainage board, they are providing drinking water. To purify and to provide the clean water for drinking water, how much they spend? They say, at least some people says, if we can provide the separate, all people, they are using most of the urban area. So that drinking water we are using for some other purpose also. Even washing our cars, washing clothes, and for everything we are using pipe-borne water. Pipe-borne water. Then if we provide non-purified water for that purposes and separate water supply for drinking water, yes, it's very cost effective. It's very cost effective. It's not the matter. Got the point? But even though it is good, what will happen? Reality. Yes, their prices are low. Drinking water, liter of the 1,000 liter of the drinking water price and the drinking water, non-purified water price can be very low. Difference. You can provide at low rate. But what will happen? Just tell me. People will use even non-purified water because price is cheaper. Then the Ministry of Health was to spend huge money for what? Waterborne disease. Waterborne disease. See, if we think the cost and benefit for some project, there are some adverse effect into some other. As I said once again, water sector project in Anura, when we do the cost benefit analysis, yes, it is financially not worthwhile, true. But when you look at in particular area, special area, so this project covered 3 areas in the country. Alla, Haliyala, Badulla. Those are the coverage. But when you look at the Alla, the most of the popular at the moment, it's very attractive tourist destination. But the problem they have is what? They cannot do this industry because of the lack of water. Then, if you provide this water service for them, definitely it leads to improve the tourism industry in the Alla asset. See, we consider not only the direct or indirect cost of the particular investment, we link other economic consideration also with them. Sometimes health sector consideration, tourism sector consideration, or flora and fauna, so trees like that, beauty of the country. So likewise, we consider some other component as well. Then tell me, what is broader, whole life costing or life cycle costing? What's broader? What is the broader concept?
Whole life costing.
Yes, whole life costing. Whole life costing. When we take the decision, same results is there in the rice industry in the country. When we calculate the cost of the rice, we only consider what? Labor cost, cost of fertilizer, cost of pest, overhead cost, cost of seeds, and any other related cost. So that's why farmer says, if the rice kilo is, paddy kilo is 100 rupees, then it is good, economically goods to the farmer. Why? Because farmer bear only these 5 cost of seeds, fertilizer, pest, labor, and other overhead. But they do not care about how much money irrigation department paid yearly, providing water. They no need to pay for that. Yearly, how many water tanks we want to rehabilitate for providing water to the agriculture purposes. There is a separate department of agrarian service. How many people are working there? There is a department, there is a ministry, there is a provincial level department, there is a provincial level ministry. So when you look at all other organizations, agrarian service department is why? Because of the paddy cultivation, not because of the other cultivation. Forget about the tea, rubber, coconut. And also, farmer get particular fertilizer at say 10,000, but real price is sometime 20,000. Because of the subsidies, they will get at low price. But the difference between the actual cost and the market price will bear by the taxpayers. When you include all the cost and when you evaluate the price of the rice in the country, it is more than 400 rupees. 400 rupees. This is what whole life assistance. Apply this practice into the investment, project, new project, or when you buy something, procure something, machineries, plant, loan, high value, complex project, investment, commercial projects. Therefore, in public sector, not the private sector, I'm talking about the public sector, public procurement. Yes, sometimes economically loss, but we do, but economically loss. Therefore, that picture clearly explained by the whole life costing. So therefore, difference between the life cycle cost and the whole life cost. Can anyone say something? I will give 2 minutes to think. It's a difference between in one para. What is that? Life cycle cost, focus these cost, but whole life cost, focus something different. What is that? Yes. Can anyone say? Cannot? Yes. Life cycle cost always focus cost to the procuring entity. Life cycle cost focus only the cost to the procuring entity. But whole life costing focus cost to the society. Is it clear? මං කියන දේ තේරෙනවද? Cost to
Yes,
the
sir.
country.
Yes. Yes, sir.
This is what you want to understand. Therefore, if you apply whole life costing base, it is more suitable for project evaluation, public sector project appraisal. But life cycle costing is more suitable for procurement analysis and the procurement decision. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is little bit advanced, so you want to think beyond out of the box. ඒක නැත්තම් මේ lesson එක හරි අමාරුයි. මේක calculation වලට ආවොත් ගොඩක් අමාරුයි. So when you come to the calculation, yeah, forecasting and other parameters, it's a very scientific method. But unfortunately in Sri Lanka, when other countries, when you do the new project, especially when they start new procurement, new project, I know personally, I do a lot of program for some other countries. They're highly concerned about these methods. But in Sri Lanka, that's why we are having abundant projects. Abundant projects. Most of the procurement decision wrong now, procurement decision. Because we got the decision based on the initial cost. There is no life cycle assessment. There is no whole life costing approach. Even return is not enough to run the project. Most of the project cannot run the project by the project. Even large scale commercial project, you can say, so that people did like this, but these people do like this. So, but when you look at the reality, cost to the country. Therefore, in macroeconomic perspectives, whole life costing and life cycle costing is very important. Life cycle costing for procurement decision, whole life costing for project management decision, especially in public sector. Think. Then, in case of life cycle costing is the total cost of owning, operating, maintaining, and disposing. Even sometimes disposal is a cost, not the disposal income. In some cases, no disposal income. In case of vehicle, you can see disposal income is there. But when you look at the PET scanners, CT scanners, like then radiation related machineries, equipment, like armored cars or not the armored cars, bulletproof vehicle. Even disposal is a cost. You cannot sell the bulletproof vehicle like other vehicle. Because why? When some people get it, what will happen? They will use everywhere. They will purchase at very higher rate, more than the initial cost. If you say bulletproof cars are available for sale, then some people, thugs and robbery people, so they will get at higher rate. Then just they can shoot and go away without any harm to them. So therefore, in normal situation, vehicle is disposal income, but in case of bulletproof vehicle, It's a disposal cost. Is it clear? Right. Therefore, there are some procurement we want to think about the disposal cost also. Therefore, life cycle costing is the total cost of owning, operating, maintaining, and disposing of an asset or its useful life related only to the specific procurement. Therefore, it covers purchase cost, or sometime in case of construction cost. Then operating cost, especially fuel, electricity, maybe gas or something like that. Then maintenance and repairs. Then replacement of component, main unit. In case of vehicle, engine or maybe gearbox, replace. So no. Then disposal cost or residual value. Then those are very important. We want to consider when we take the procurement decision. If you apply life cycle costing, you cannot apply life cycle costing for each and every procurement. What is necessary? If you know well about the procurement, if you know well about the supply chain, sustainability point of view, then what is necessary when we take the decision? So under what situation, for what procurement can we go for life cycle assessment? That is very important. Whole life costing is a broader than the life cycle costing. It's include all cost and also non-cost impact. It's not the cost to the procuring entity, but they consider the cost to any other organization, society. So non-cost impact relating to the ownership and use, including organizational, environment, and social cost. Social cost also. Sometimes economically this is very good, particular project, particular investment. Economically very good. There is no any effect to the environment also, but it will create the damage to the society sometime. Therefore, this cost, that cost is not cost to the procuring entity, but cost to the some other organization, maybe to the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Defense. Therefore, environmental impact. So then what is necessary? We want to consider carbon emission. Then waste. There should be a waste management cost. There can be a waste management cost. Pollution. Sometimes when you say take the, it's not the good example, but anyway, Ratupaswala case, the industry is very good. Maxell. Industry is very good. Now they are doing the business in Thailand very nicely. I am working in Thailand as well. Right. Very attractive business. It's a world famous gloves company, Maxell. Right. It creates a lot of job opportunities and they use the local material and a lot of positive impact is there. Just think, I don't know exactly it's happened or not, but just example. But because of this factory or because of this particular XY industry, because of their waste water, if there is a damage to the drinking water or well water sources, well water in that area. So people cannot drink that water because of the chemical, heavy metal. Then what will happen? So we can't say, no problem, forget about, drink them. No. Therefore, government wants to start another new project. What? Providing drinking water for people who are living in this area. This is not the cost to the particular company, but it's a cost to the water supply and drainage board. Then when you get that cost also as a cost of the particular project, then this will become a whole life cost. So cost of the other project also will become a cost of the some other project. So that's what? Pollution. It can be air pollution or water pollution, whatever. Then if anyone say how to calculate, this is how calculate. Okay, because of this industry, there is a huge hazard about the drinking water. Then how do you calculate when you take the decision? Very easy. Forget about well water. Then we want to start the drinking water project under the water supply and drainage board. Then how much they want to spend? This much of money. So therefore, consider this cost also as a part of the particular cost of the project. This is how. Then other one is social impact. Yes. Health and safety, community impact like that. The indirect business cost or maybe indirect business return also. As I said, if we start this water sector project in Alla, yes, it's supposed to boost the tourism industry in that area. They are having a lot of problem because of the water. Then externalities and substantial cost. Externalities. Right. Externalities. So now you have idea about when we do the procurement, especially in public sector procurement, we want to consider life cycle costing plus whole life costing. But in case of private sector organization, they do not too much care about whole life costing. They highly consider life cycle costing. But if you consider the whole life costing when you take the decision, even though you are in the private sector organization, you are doing the private sector procurement and supply chain and logistic. But if you think this will increase your value of the company. That is because of the CSR. That is because of the CSR. That's why in private sector also today we highly concerned about what? Social accounting. Social accounting. Some standards are also social standards, social accounting standards. So then, even though this is private sector, they take the decision by focusing society, corporate social responsibility. Therefore, when the private sector organization take the decision, when the private sector organization, when they get the decision regarding procurement, earlier they thought how to maximize the profit. But today they highly concerned about how to maximize the value. Value maximization completely different from profit maximization. Why? Not only the profit, they consider the social and economic and environmental factors as well when they take the decision. Is it clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir, clear.
Clear. Right. So you can see difference between the life cycle cost and the whole life costing. Just think, especially whole life costing approach is very important public sector procurement. Yes. Life cycle costing, yes, for the private sector procurement, but up to certain, they also want to focus CSR. All right, okay, just see this slide. I need a small break. If you need, you can have a cup of tea while you are, following this presentation. So then, okay, no problem. So I'm a little bit tired because of the whole day lectures. So then just think this slide. Take 5 minutes, just go through. Okay. Life cycle cost, primary focus, direct cost of ownership. But the whole life cost, total cost of ownership, including externalities. For example, they consider other cost also. I will give you few examples, then you will get. So I was in Australia sometimes back, not recently. There was a train in Melbourne, free of charge. It's a city train. Even I use. Right? So then I asked from them, at that time I was in Monash University. I asked from one professor, why government is providing this kind of free of charge training service in Melbourne City? Why? Free of charge. What he said. So, the cost we bear for this train service, when compared to the cost of the other, transport service, if we stop this cost, then there can be a huge traffic in the Melbourne city. That is number one. Lot of vehicles, right? Lot of vehicles. And also air pollution because of them. Therefore, even spending, running this project, providing this service at low cost is not the loss to the country. Because why? When we focus the social aspect, and most of the retired people, they cannot stay at home in Melbourne and Australia. A lot of overage people. At least they will get the change because of this train. Some people, they sit on the train, just train is going their way. They are reading newspapers. They are watching here and there. So that is the social value. Minimize traffic jam. Minimize air pollution, CO2 level. But train is running at loss, but there is a return. Even similarly, in Canada, some buses, they are government on, city buses. So sometimes only driver and no conductors, not at all, only few passengers. But the bus is coming on time. Late Penama, but forget about that. Not like country, Sri Lanka. But they come on time. But only few passengers. Sometimes 5-6 passengers. But bus is coming on time. They remove that bus, that travel, trip from their schedule, even though this is loss. Why? If we remove this trip from our schedule, the confidence of the people will lose. When the confidence gets lost, they try to use their own vehicle. Canada හැමෝටම vehicle එකක් තියෙනවා, right? Most probably ඔක්කොම use කරන vehicle. Then ultimately the number of vehicles on road will increase, and air pollution also will increase. The cost also will increase. See, this is what whole life costing approach. Is it clear? Even externalities also we are focusing when we do the whole life cost assessment. some practical example. When you touch the surface, then you will get the that is what we are doing. That is what we are doing. We touch we do the assessment based on the surface. But when you go to the inside, the society-wise, country-wise, so different returns are there. Yes. Scope, in case of life cycle costing, narrow, financial and direct cost. Then in case of broad, whole life costing is a broader. Not only the financial cost, even environment cost also, even society cost also we consider. This is what we say sustainable procurement. C is there. C is there. C dimension is a sustainable public procurement. Then cost component, acquisition cost, operation cost, end of life cost. As I said, acquisition cost, operation cost, and the end of life. That is what disposal cost. Then whole life cost is this plus indirect and direct external cost. Even cost also we consider as a cost. Even return also we consider this return because of this project. That is very perspective. In case of life cycle costing, it's an economic efficiency. In case of whole life costing, it's a kind of value assessment. It's a kind of value assessment. Mama lecture එකකින්නේ මම කතා කරන්න තපොන්දන්. Right, okay. Sorry. Then application, especially procurement and cost optimization, especially relating to the private sector procurement and the cost optimization. Whole life costing, especially in public sector investment, public sector procurement, by focusing sustainability and the long-term strategic planning. Users, asset managers, project planners, especially sustainability teams, public sector planners, and policymakers, politicians. I don't know, politician, can they understand? Some of them they may be, but that is especially for policymakers and the public sector planners, they will use. Is it clear? Got the point?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Clear. Primary focus, economic cost. Then you want to understand the life cycle cost and life cycle assessment. Life cycle assessment. So when we do the sustainable procurement, we do some assessment. So we give some points. Okay, if you are using eco-friendly design, so then we will give this much of point. It's a point. That's why most probably long-term, this kind of projects, you can evaluate based on the point score system. The evaluation in case of procurement, bid evaluation you can do based on two factors. One is what? Point score system. Other one is compliance and cost. Compliance and cost. Your specification 100% comply with our requirement. Everything is perfect. Then we consider your price. This is what we do at the moment. But we give some points. We give out of 100, we will give only, say 20.4 cost. So whatever that is. 20.4 environment factors. Another 20.4 social factors. Blah, blah. So then we distribute the points among the key areas of the procurement. Is it clear? It's a point base. So therefore, at least if you can do this kind of assessment system to your procurement will become a sustainable procurement. For example, primary focus, economic cost, but we give some points. There is a rating system, rates, environment impact. Outcome, total cost of ownership, but environment profile of the product of the process. Perspective, financial, blah, blah. Ecological, social orient. Scope, I think, tools, life cycle costing, NPV, IRR, likewise. It's some models, some tools. But here we ask, do you have ISO 14001? 14,001, it's a mistake. Do you have a ISO 14,001? Ah, that's good. Do you have a green label? Yes, we have. Do you have a green standards? Yes. Do you have a green, what do you call that, GMP? Yes, we have GMP. Good manufacturing practices. Right. Users, asset manager, procurement professionals, environmental scientists, sustainability team, policymakers. Then this is what I want. Whole life costing, idle cost, life cycle cost, income, externalities. Then when you look at the life cycle cost, construction, maintenance, operation, occupancy, residual value. Residual value means at the end of the period, what is the price? This is clearly explained by BS ISO 15685. That is known as life cycle costing assessment. So different ISO are available. There is an ISO for life cycle costing. There is an ISO 14001 for green perspectives. Likewise, some standards are available. Globally accepted. Right? See this picture. What ISO 1515681 says. Can you read? Think about the machinery, any plant. Yes. Our procurement is almost similar to the taking a decision about the iceberg. Iceberg, just like a Titanic ship. Just like a Titanic ship. Why? We always take the decision based on the visual, visible area, visible component. But there is a huge component of the particular matter is inside. The big part, large part is inside, but small part is visible. Therefore, we are taking the decision based on this. What's wrong? At the end, oh my God, we got the wrong decision. We got the wrong decision. Who will get the benefits? Suppliers will get the benefits. Contractors will get the benefits. We lose the chances. Why? We do not incorporate total cost of ownership practices in bid evaluation. Total cost of ownership is the cost that includes the cost of operating an asset over its lifespan, including acquisition, maintenance, and disposal. Acquisition cost is there, but we do not care about maintenance cost. We do not care about the training cost. We do not care about the inventory holding cost. Inventory holding cost. Some medicines are available. Some medicine, just small example. Some medicine. Suppose some medicines are available for the people, patient who are getting the treatment in the, what do you call that, ICU. ICU. Right? Some medicines are available, recommend to the ICU patient. Some medicines are available, you will get at, say, just example, 100 rupees. The same product. I'm not going to talk about the pharmacopoeia and the standards of the products, so I'm not going to discuss that matters. Some medicines are there, the produce in Europe country or sometime under the high standard, their prices are sometime 400, 300. Specification wise, okay, everything. Even regulatory requirements, even NMRA also available. So if you give that medicine, their prices are low, specification wise, okay, everything is okay. Sometimes you want to keep the patient in the ICU 4 days. But if you use the medicine that price is higher, then you can discharge sometime 2 days before. Now think, do we purchase medicine at low price? Whether patient we keep additional 2 days? Is it clear? Then there are some other costs as well. Think price is low. That's true. Even we can apply them, that medicine also, recommend. But you want to bear some other cost because of this. Likewise, very important. Similarly, there are some number of other costs. Inventory holding cost. training cost, maintenance cost, research, defects. For example, some testing equipments are available. When you get the 100 copies, 100 test report, 10 test report will become error report. Error report. So reports okay. Number of reports are okay. More than requested. But when you look at the accuracy of the report, it's wrong. It's wrong. Error reports. Therefore, do we consider defects rate? Defects. Defects. And also in case of large-scale machineries equipment, that is we known as MTBF. What do you mean by MTBF? What do you mean by MTBF? This is applicable for bid evaluation. In case of large-scale plant, power plant, and machineries. Take small example. There is a power plant, say just coal power plant A, coal power plant B. The cost of the coal power plant A is less 100 million sometimes when compared to the B. But when I look at the history of this machine A, the same machines are using by some other countries, say coal power plant. So once get the coal power plant, breakdown, we want to stop the plant, say at least more than 15 days. For what? To, get the low temperature level. Because it's a high temperature, more than sometimes 2000, 2500 centigrade. To do the repair, it will take 15 days, sometimes 20 days. Otherwise, you cannot repair. So even though this get the breakdown, you cannot. You want to wait until get cool. Then after cool, then you did the repair. After doing the repair, once again you want to come to the 2500 centigrade level to provide the energy. Most probably, in case of power plant, very important. What? Huge cost for, initial stage to get the temperature level up to that level. When you come to that level, to maintain this temperature, you want to use less coal. But to bring that machine to get the temperature level to that level, it's very high cost. That's why most probably some tile producing company, tile manufacturers, ceramic manufacturers, their burners, they never stop. Even though holiday, even long-term leave, say Christmas leave, 5-6 days. No, they do not stop the machine. Because why? Maintaining temperature is less. If you stop that, huge cost you want to pay. That is we known as what? Cost of mean time between failures. Failures nisa cost mean neka. So we can compare 2-3 similar machines. who are used in some other countries or sometimes in Sri Lanka. Especially we can use them for some machineries equipment, especially transformers, energy generating machine, you can do. Think about it. Practically we can apply. Other countries, they apply. When you type Google, just MTBF for evaluation of project or bid evaluation plus MTBF, you will get lot of example. Those are high standard evaluation criteria, especially for power plant, large scale machineries, train engine. Yes. Therefore, handling cost, delivery cost, inspection cost. But when we take the decision, at least we do not care about these costs also. We always take the decision based on the acquisition cost. We are getting the wrong decision in case of procurement. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, so today also, so I will stop the lesson because I promised to come visitor's place today. So today evening is I don't have leisure time really. I'm working 7 days, even evening also today. So I promised to my friend relatives really to visit their place. So therefore they are asking me. So then I will stop the lesson. So then next day I will do little bit more than the more time I will get 20-30 minutes more than the scheduled time. Okay. So we'll complete the balance part next day and some practical example. I'm sharing some practical example. So not to blame to any other organization or industry, but yeah, when we think about some decision making, we are getting wrong decision, but still we are not in a position to incorporate that criteria into our procurement process because no technically qualified members to evaluate, including this criteria. Some of them are available at the moment. They are not available in the country sometimes. Yes, what to do? Okay. See you next day. Okay, have a nice day.
Thank you,
Thank you.
sir.
sir.
Good night.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good night, sir.
Good night. අයේ මම ලෙක්චර් එකක ඉන්නේ මම ගන්නම් පස්සේ. හරි මම